Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? It's been a long time since I made a follow-up video. I've made follow-up videos on my scooters, on the one scooter, the T113, but now I need to tell the whole deal about how the scooter's been and how now finally failing. It's finally failing. Go back and tell some backstory as to why I got it. So, as anybody remembers who saw like all my other previous videos, I had the scooter and I had the turbo lithium bullshit that got stolen. And then I had the T113, and then that was when I had first got it, and I reviewed both of those scooters, and then I was going to review the T113 later. So now I'm here to tell you about how this scooter is doing now. So there were a lot of people in the comments talking about like, in other people's videos, like, oh yeah, the scooter doesn't turn on anymore now. I don't know what's going on. Just like other problems and shit. This one dude that had changed the battery, the throttle, the fucking alarm, and battery and everything, and he says scooter still wouldn't turn on. I find that hard to believe, but maybe so, because now I'm having my issues. So let's go back to the very beginning. So before I got any of these scooters, I want this to be known. Before I got any of these scooters, I originally always wanted to get a Dualtron, okay? I always wanted to get a Dualtron, but of course, the Dualtrons are hella expensive. Dualtrons are like 3,700, or the lowest for a Spider is like 2,000 something, and that's like the smallest one. But I knew you'd be getting quality. So I really wanted to get one of those scooters, but I didn't want to pay that much money. And I thought that Dualtron was the only way to get one of those kind of scooters, those dual motor, big beefy scooters, right? That's what I was under the impression of. But then, I was looking around, hunting, saw bullshit on Amazon or whatever. But then I ran into Alibaba, Chinese manufacturers. And I saw that they had the scooters for like 800 or something like that, like $800. And I'm like, oh shit, that looks very similar to a Dualtron. It's big, it's beefy, it's got the motors. Oh, hell yeah. And that's only $800. Okay. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna end up getting this. I know sometimes Chinese products be fucked up, but I was thinking, this looks solid. Like when you look at the pictures, it looks solid. It looks good to go. Everything's going to be good. Why not? So I went ahead and bought it. I said, fuck it, and then, I made the negotiations with the company by first of all, after I tell you all about this scooter, you could decide if you want to buy it or not. But first of all, when you go on Alibaba and you buy these scooters, always get a contract with the manufacturer. Get pictures, get a contract, get details, ask about the battery, make sure you're getting the scooter that you're ordering, and make sure you get the trade assurance so that if they send you the wrong fucking scooter, you can be like, oh, hell no, bro. You send that shit back and you be like, hey, give me the right scooter. And with the trade assurance, they have to refund your money or something. You got to return the scooter, and they got to do something. That's the main thing. So I went on there and I ordered it. If I lived in China, it'd be $800, but I don't live in China. I live in the United States of America. So I had to order it, and obviously the tariff costs were expensive, and the shipping cost is going to be expensive for something that big, and it has a lithium battery in it, okay? So the total of the scooter was about $1,300, which is way cheaper than the Dualtron. That's what you're caught up in, the price. So I bought it. It takes a long time to get here. It took like a month or a week or something. So be prepared for that if you buy it from Alibaba. It's going to take a long time, but it will come. Now, there is another thing. If you live in a house or something like that where, it's like exposed, if packages get left on a, front porch or something, it's exposed. I would recommend like staying at home around the time you think it's going to come. I know it's going to be difficult, but try to do that because there is no signature required. They just leave it. So they're going to leave a big ass scooter by your door, period. Like, and take off. There's no signature required. So I waited a month and 2 weeks. I got the scooter. As you guys see the review, you know, I was all excited and, you know, it looked really cool and whatnot. So started riding it. It's decent. It's fast. I'm gonna tell you right now, I got up to, that thing gets up to like 40 miles an hour. Okay. So it's not a slow scooter. I'll tell you that right now. Like it'll move. Okay. And then the issue I had with it, after 5 months, the battery stopped working. Well, let me back up because I didn't really know what was going on at first. Like I was riding it and then they say you can ride it in the rain and whatnot. So it doesn't rain that often where I'm at, the state that I'm at. So I did it like twice, like, and it was raining, you know, and I said, all right, whatever, that's fine. It was raining. And then, you know, I was riding and riding and riding. And one time I was riding in the rain and it cut off. And I was like, oh shit. And then I was like, fuck, I think, you know, I fucked it up or whatever. But then, you know, it would cut off and then I would ride again and then it would cut off, you know. So I was like, oh, fuck this shit. I'm not going to ride it in the rain anymore, you know. And then, you know, some time went on. After a while, you know, I rode it again and it was working, you know, even after, you know, the rain had did something to it, or I thought the rain had did something to it. It was working. So I was riding it and then it started, what happened was, I'm trying to remember what happened. Okay, this is what happened. This is what started happening. As I was riding, I would charge the battery up to full. And the max, when it's fully charged, it'll be like 68 volts. Okay, so I'm at 68 volts. And then as soon as I start riding it, I'll just ride it for like, I don't know, on a full battery, like after 10 minutes, it'll shut off. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's impossible. Like the battery's full. So then and then once it shuts off, you can't turn it back on unless you plug the charger into the wall and then plug the port into the scooter. And then it goes, and then you can unlock it with your remote and then you can turn it on. So if it cuts off on you and you're riding and you don't have the charger and nowhere to plug it in, you're not getting it back on. The remote won't respond. The button won't respond. I don't care how long you hold the button down. It's not turning on. So be aware of that. Okay. If you need to carry the charger on you, if you plan to use a scooter to go everywhere, like me, I prefer to ride scooters and driving, like these little nice scooters, because I can go on the sidewalk or the street. I don't like dealing with cars. That's me personally. That's why I love these scooters. Bring a charger with you. Have a backpack, have your charger with you, you know, for these particular kind of scooters. So, you know, I was riding, it kept shutting off and I knew the battery was full. I'm like, what is going on? So, you know, I contacted them and they said, oh, you know, I try to get them to see what was going on. What can I do? You know, yeah. What you got to keep in mind is that this is a Chinese company and they're overseas. You know, I don't really think about these type of things. You know, you're so hyped about getting the scooter that, oh, I just want to get the scooter. I just want to ride. Damn, this thing looks sick. And you're so pumped. You know, some of the people who subscribed on my channel and saw my video, I got all those comments from guys saying, oh, tell me how it is. I just ordered it. I'm waiting for it to come. You know how it is. You get hyped. You want to ask people. You start watching the same review videos that you watched like 20 million times. You've already seen it, but you just want to see the scooter moving. You wish you had it right now. You're so pumped to ride it. Trust me, I know how you feel, man. I'm one of those people too, dude. Like, don't even trip, man. I got you, bro. But yeah, so the scooter came in after a month and then it was cutting off at like 6. I was like, what the hell? And then so I tried to reach out to them and, you know, ask them like, hey, well, what can I do? And, you know, they have this little shit, 1 year warranty bullshit. I was like, okay, well, what the fuck is the warranty going to do? So I'm thinking, okay, this battery's screwed up. So maybe I could return this battery to them, and then they could either fix it or send me another one. And then they're like, oh no, we can't really do that, and blah blah blah. And then I'm like, well, what is the warranty for? It makes no sense. And then I think a lot of them will try to dick you around, but I got to give it to this company that I chose, this lady Landy and their company. She did work with me and she did answer me. I've heard stories for some people on Alibaba where the manufacturing person doesn't even answer them. After they make the sale, they don't give a shit. This lady kept answering all my questions and she kept dealing with me, and I was annoying, bro. Like, well, when you pay a lot of money for something, you're going to keep asking whatever. But she would sometimes, I guess she was working, it would take a little while for her to respond, but she will respond. And she did everything she could to try to, help me out. I give her that. I give them that. It's my own bad if I buy some shit and, I don't know if the quality will be good or like whatever, but I do give it up for her for messaging me. And if you guys want to get, the scooter from Alibaba where I got, if you want to get an Alibaba scooter, I'll tell you, just let me know. But I asked her, I was like, okay, well, what's the warranty for? Like, what am I paying for? Like, and then I suggested, hey, can I send you this battery and then you guys either fix it or send me another one, since, the warranty says if it fails, normally under normal conditions, you didn't alter it, you didn't up the voltage, I didn't do any of that shit. I just charge it, get on it and ride to work. That's it. I don't overcharge. I don't do any of that shit. Like, I don't mess with the voltage or the settings, none of that. So I'm like, okay, I'm thinking I'm good to go. So I was like, what can I do? I was like, oh, we can't do that because this is how it's kind of bullshit. We can't do that because, we can't find a shipper to ship the battery to you. Like, what? Because it's a lithium battery, it's expensive. Like, bro, how does that make sense? Because you already sent me a new battery, because I'm gonna get to that. It had two batteries, and once this battery messed up, I initially ordered a new battery, because it messed up. I just took a chance. But the point is, you're saying like, oh, no, we can't find a shipper to send it. And I'm like, what? You just sent me a new battery. So why is it that you can't find a shipper? You can find a shipper when I want to buy a new battery, but when I want to get this one fixed or exchange it for another one, then you don't. Then they say, oh yeah, the price for shipping will be like too much for the battery both ways. And I'm saying, hey, look, I will pay for the shipping both ways. If it's, I'm thinking if it's cheaper than the battery, like let's say if it was $120, like each way just to send it, I pay that because the battery is like $400 to $450. So I pay the shipping cost both ways. That's what I said. But then she's like, oh no, it'll cost it'll cost like the price of two batteries. And I'm like, I don't think so, bro. She's just making up excuses so that they don't have to do it. So I said, well, what are we going to do with this? How are we going to do this? And then she's like, well, take a video of what's going on and blah, 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 and all this shit. So I took a video, show that it was cutting off. Well, actually, let me explain. Because there's two different instances. I'm gonna talk about the first battery and then the second battery. So for the first battery, I sent her a picture, a video of what was happening. So I took a video of me like riding. It was on full, and I had it recorded on my phone. I was just riding around a parking lot, and I show her of how it just cuts off. It'll just shut off. You'll see the countdown from 68, 67, 66, 65, blah, 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 40, until it gets to 0 and then cuts off. Okay. So I showed her that video, and then she messaged me back like, oh, there's a problem. The technician says there's a problem with the BMS. You need to change the BMS. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? She's like, it's a little chip or whatever. You just pay for shipping costs and we'll send you the piece out and you'll fix it. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll give that a shot. So then I just waited, I tried to get express. So it took about like 2 weeks. So then after 2 weeks, I get the little BMS chip thing and I look at it and I'm like, because here's the thing. I thought it was something that it was a piece that I need to change in the controller. I thought the controller was like messed up or something. So if I put this chip or whatever is going to be easily inserted in there and or whatever, plug the wires in, and that's it in the controller. But as it turns out, when I got it, it was like this metal chip. I'm like, what the hell is this? As it turns out, that's for the battery. You know, for you people who know about that kind of shit. Well, I just learned right now what a BMS is. It's the battery regulator, and this, you know, the discharge and the safety thing, and the computer to tell the battery what to do. And I didn't know that. And then I'm looking at this, and if you guys seen a picture of the batteries they make are closed and they're sealed in this like package and all this shit. And I'm like, oh, hell no. There's no way I'm going to try to like fix this. There's no way I'm going to open this or try to do anything like that. So what I tried to do was I tried to go to anywhere. Here's one thing. Nobody's going to want to work on these scooters here. You're fucked. Okay. Unless if you find like, I don't know, some scooter shop or somewhere, which is very rare. No one's going to want to work on these things, dude. No one. You're basically going to have to do your own maintenance. Okay. So this is what I did. I went around with the chip and the battery, and I tried to find like these little places to do it. And they're like, oh, nah, we can't do that. We can't do that. I even tried auto mechanics just for the hell of it. Nah, we can't fix this. We don't know what to do to fix this. And I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do? So then this is what I did. I just let it ride. I said, okay, I fucking took the chance and spent the money. And I was like, I'm going to buy another battery. I'm going to take one more chance and see if that will work. First off, let me tell you how long the battery lasts. The battery lasted for 5 months. Okay. Now let's get into that. These batteries are advertised to last about 800 cycles or something. So that's like 800 charges. So that should last you about 2 years. And even when I asked around, I was like, hey, how long are these batteries gonna last? Under normal conditions, assuming that you treat it normally, you don't overcharge, you don't mess with the voltage, these batteries should last you about 2 years. So I'm like, all right, cool. And that's what I'm expecting. Okay, I don't mind buying a new battery every 2 years. Honestly, the battery can't last forever. I get it. I don't mind buying a new battery after 2 years. That's fine. And they say it will last for 3 years too, you know, depending on how you use it. That's cool. I don't got a problem with that. But 5 months, bro? Come on, man. That's ridiculous. So I said, fuck it. I'm going to go ahead and just get another battery. Maybe that was a bad battery. I'm going to take another chance and dump the 400. So I hit up Landy like, hey, you know, just send me another battery, dude. Like, I'll take a chance, dude. Like, just give me another one. And they're like, all right. They're happy to do it then. You know, when you want to buy a new battery, they're happy to do it. So they sent me out a new one. So then I documented that. Like, this is around the time where I sent my last video that you guys saw, where I was reviewing it inside the back of where I work in the construction area. And it was April 1st. I marked down the date when I got that shit. So I'm going to see, because I was going to see how long that was going to last. Okay. So it was April 1st of this year. So I jotted that down. I was like, all right, let's see how long it lasts. So the same thing happened again after 6 months. Okay. After 6 months, I was just riding like normally, going to the job or whatever. And then all of a sudden it just cuts off. And I was like, oh, okay, I must be out of battery or some shit, whatever. Even though I always remembered to charge it or whatever, but I kind of went a longer distance this way or something like that. And I was like, no big deal. I'll just charge it when I get to work. So then I go to work, I charge it up fully. Okay. It's charged up fully. And then I get out. When I get off, I'm ready to ride. And then I'm riding home. Same thing, bro. 10 minutes in. As soon as 10 minutes hit, the shit cuts off. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Not this shit again. Because the same thing happened to me with my initial battery, my first battery that came with the scooter. So I'm like, oh, hell no. This is some bullshit. You know, you're going to be pissed off. So it cut off completely. And I had to get an Uber, of course. Got an Uber, put the scooter in the trunk, took it home, yada, yada, yada. So then I wanted to see what was going on. So I took the scooter in the house and I plugged it into the wall to see if, it'll charge or if it'll turn on. So I plugged it into the wall, plugged the port into the scooter. It goes, and it turns on. Got the little hand remote, activated the remote. It turned on. Everything was cool. It was in there. It was the fan turned on a charger and it was charging. So I was like, all right, cool. So then I had it on my little crate so that I can kind of like press the motor and see if it's giving any juice or doing anything was working. So I put it on the crate and then I press it. The wheel moves. It's going or whatever. So I was like, all right, cool. I guess that's it. As soon as I pulled out the charger, it started counting down, 68, 69, blah, 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 50, 40, 30, 0. And then it shuts off. And then it makes these beeping noises like, ding, 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 and then that's it. And I'm like, fucking man, again, bro. So this time I called them and asked them, this is when I asked them if I can get an exchange and blah, 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 what I explained earlier. And they said, oh, no, we can't find a shipper. We can't do that. The bullshit, So I asked her, okay, what can I do? What is your warranty going to do? Well, we can have the technician send you a video of what to do. And I'm like, okay, like I said, at least she's trying. At least she's helping. Most of these Alibaba manufacturing companies won't give a fuck. Once they get your buy, that's it. They're done. You'll get ignored. They won't even answer your messages. So she did. And she sent me a video, and it's this crazy ass video. You have to literally take a box cutter, cut the top of the battery where the wires stick out, get like the wires, burn them off with a fucking soldering iron, take the other that BMS chip thing or whatever it was, take that BMS chip thing or whatever, and then like melt them on with like a soldering iron, like this special shit. I don't have that. And the wires look like liquid metal or something when you're melting it on there. Dude, I'm not going to do something like that. What if I do it wrong? What if I mess something up? This is a battery. Like these are lithium batteries. These are dangerous. What if I do it wrong and I charge it and, it catches fire or something like that? I'm not a fucking, electrical engineer. I'm not a technician on that shit. I'm not going to do that. So I told her, like, man, I'm not going to do this, dude. This is crazy. No wonder nobody wants to work on fixing a battery. And then he's like, yeah, that's like pretty much what we can do. So I'm stuck. Like, this is going to happen, dude. Okay. I'm going to tell you that right now. And, most of the Chinese, products, they just put this cheap shit in there, and they want you to, they probably know it's going to give out in like 5 months so that you can buy another fucking battery. Okay. It's the battery is not quality. Okay. And, not all Chinese companies are going to do this, but, I can't say every Chinese company is bad, because that's not true, but a lot of the times they try to do things for real cheap. That's how they're able to sell all those scooters in bulk and cheap. And, the parts and the quality is cheap and it's not going to last. So I'm like, damn, what the hell am I going to do now? Because I use the scooter every day. So my thing is I'm going back to what I originally wanted to do. I originally wanted to get a Dualtron. And I'm going to tell you right now, after doing research and learning and doing all that shit, those motors that are on the T113, the one that I have, the Chinese scooter, are not the same motors that are on the Dualtron. The tires are not the same. Okay? The wires, none of that shit is the same. Okay? Those motors from Dualtron are like manufactured. They probably have them made in China, I'm pretty sure, getting it cheap or whatever. But those parts are quality parts. And that's a Korean company. Okay? So Dualtron is like Korean. And same with Weeped. Weeped is another scooter I wanted to get. These are the top of the line ones that I initially saw before this shit. The Weeped is sick. Like, I was like, damn, that thing is dope. It's got the lights on the wheels. It's got everything. Like the weep head, I'm still debating between, but I'm mostly probably going to get a Dualtron. The only thing I don't like about the weep head is that you can't put a seat on it, or at least from what I've seen. I checked everywhere online and all this, and there's no way you can put a seat on it. But on the Dualtron, specifically the Dualtron Thunder, the one I want to get, you can put a seat on that. And I don't know what it is. I just got to have a seat. It feels way more comfortable and fun riding on it with a seat. So that has a seat attached. So I'm going to be getting the Dualtron Thunder. Now, let's see what else. Yeah, these motors are the ones that from the Chinese factory are different. So, and then one thing, the battery. Okay, the battery that you get from the Chinese company is some kind of, I don't know what it is. It's like, who knows? It's just a Chinese battery. They use whatever battery. The batteries are shit. They're not going to last, so, but the ones that that they use for the Dualtron are LG batteries. LG is a known fucking company. So you're going to get, they're going to make quality batteries. You're going to get quality shit. Okay. And for the weep head, the reason why I really want to get the weep head, the only thing that holds me back is that it doesn't have a seat. That's what I hate about the weep head, but that is a sick, nice scooter. So if you don't mind standing, I would recommend probably getting the weep head or the Dualtron. It's really good. But, yeah, it's the fact that it doesn't have a seat. That's the thing that, kills me about the weep head. But, yeah, all those things are different. All the things are the same. Now, the prices on these scooters are expensive. For the Dualtron Thunder, that thing is like $3,700. But you know what? I'm going to invest in it because, I'm the kind of person that believes that some things you got to buy in quality. You just got to buy quality and you get what you pay for. And I need something that's going to last and it's going to be reliable. I should have just went with my gut in the beginning and said, let me just save up and get a Dualtron. But I wanted to take a chance because that was cheaper. Okay, you live and you learn, So I would, that's what I'm going to be getting. So it's like $3,700. And the cheapest one, like the Dualtron Spider, that's like, I think that's like $2,000. Yeah, those are expensive. But you get quality parts, bro. You get quality parts, quality battery. And also in the weep head scooter, there's a Samsung battery in there. That's why I really, really want that, because it's got a Samsung battery. And, Samsung is, the top dogs right now. They can't afford to be fucking up, so, they're going to have some quality shit. So, yeah. And, like I said, a problem with these, Chinese scooters is that no one's going to work on them. You're not going to have anybody to, fix them or whatever. So the good thing about the Dualtron is that you will have, if you get a Dualtron, because I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna get frustrated when you can't get this fixed and it takes you like 2 months to get parts, because when you order parts, I can get them from Landy. Like one thing that's good on her, they'll always, where I got my Chinese scooter, they'll always be good on parts. They'll always get you the parts. It may take a little while, unless if you want to pay a lot for shipping. But where I got it from, she sent me all the parts, tires, tubes, rims, anything I needed, controllers, whatever. She will send it out. Okay. Alarm changing kit. Okay. But it takes a long time and it's expensive for the tubes, especially for the tubes. It's ridiculous. If you want to get tubes, go to bigtoysusa.com. That's what I recommend. But yeah, so the good thing about a Dualtron is that you will be able to get the scooter serviced, even if you have to ship it to them. If it's called Mini Motors, minimotors.com, and the store is called Mini Motors. The reason why I know this is legit, I'm just pretty much, assuming, is because I've been looking online, doing a lot of research, and there's Mini Motor stores in Korea. So I'm believing that since it's a Korean scooter, Mini Motors has expanded out to United States. So they have stores out here. So this is legit, bro. Legit. You'll be able to get a good scooter with a good battery. You have to spend a lot of money, but it's worth it. Okay. If you really like these scooters and you really want a good scooters, just go to the Mini Motors and do it that way. I know I haven't gotten it yet and I'm talking about it all good, but it seems like just a no-brainer because, you know, I've called them and I've talked to them and they're like, yeah, we could service it. We'll get you the parts and all that. That's cool. So whenever something fails, I don't have to worry, oh, I can't get it fixed. You know, that's annoying. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I just wanted to let you guys know that. That's my whole deal. What else I need to say? Oh, I'm going to be putting another. Oh, okay. Let's do this. Let's talk about this. From before, if you guys watched my last video, I was telling you about, oh yeah, also the parts on this thing, let me get into that. The parts on a Chinese scooter are really weak, fragile, and it's really kind of unsafe. So first I'm gonna tell you about the fender on the back. If you look at these fenders on the back, like the rain guard or the water guards that are on the T113 and other similar models, I refer to T113 because that's what that company calls it. But don't get confused by names. They're all the fucking same shit. They're all the same scooters, just different Chinese branding. So the water guard on the back broke just from regular riding or regular use. You know, I didn't do anything. I didn't put any pressure on it. Nothing. You just ride and it ding, ding, ding. Like just because of going off bumps and stuff, it rattles. It goes up and down, rattles until eventually it just snaps in half. But in that point, I didn't know what was happening. I thought because I had took it off and I thought I put it back on wrong or something. And that's why it broke. And I ordered another one. And then once I found out and I looked and examined, wait, this is the way it's supposed to be. It just broke on its own. I didn't do anything. I didn't put it back on wrong when I took it off. It's just because of when it's bouncing, it's just the metal is so thin, it's flimsy. So eventually it wears off and it snaps in half. So I got it and I never put it back on. I just left it, you know, so be aware of that. And then this other thing, there's a video on it where something broke and I fell. Okay, and I got some bad scratches and I had my Samsung Galaxy earbuds in my dress shirt, in my left pocket on the top. And when I fell, I slid. And I got a bad scratch on my knee that hurt like a bitch, scarred up right there. And one would have been right on my chest if my Samsung Galaxy Buds wasn't in my pocket that protected me when I slid. But if you guys ever have seen the Samsung Galaxy Buds actual case, it says Samsung on the top, like in black, you know, faded away. But that is completely scratched off perfectly. It's just a big scratch. I'm like, oh man, my Buds case looks like shit now, but it saved my fucking ass. And it's still worse. This case is strong, I'll tell you that. But what happened is if you guys look at my previous video, I talked about how the left shock had broke on me and I was going really slow. And, you know, luckily I was going slow. It's when I started and I mentioned that it was flimsy and moving around. And, you know, I don't know if I said it's because I didn't have it tightened or because I hit something or whatever the case may be that I said on that. That's not the case. You know, I realize why that thing broke now. Okay. So it broke on me at first time when I got on it and I started going just a little bit and it snapped and the whole wheel fell. And then I didn't fall because I was going like 2 miles an hour, 3 miles, like 1 mile an hour, like super slow. And I'm like, oh shit, you know, and then I realized that the shock had snapped on the top where the screw part is. If you guys see the pictures right here, on the top where the screw in, that snaps. Okay, just from like riding and all that shit snap. Well, not from riding. I'm gonna tell you why. So here's the thing, which I think is really stupid how they made this. Okay, the shock is connected to the front brake. Okay, the shock is connected to the front brake. Now, I don't know how much sense that makes. Now, when I really think about it, like that's kind of fucking stupid. So I don't know if I was on wrong or putting it on wrong or something like that, but every time I would ride, when I press the front brakes down, there's always this like side squeezing on the actual shock. Okay, so when I would press on the front brakes, it would be like squeeze to the side, like squeeze, like if it's pulling, you know, pulling it, pulling it off to the side, like if it's bending it, you know, but I didn't think nothing of it, you know. What I wasn't realizing is that over time, that was wearing out the metal inside the shock. Because you keep bending something, I don't care how thick it is, the metal is. You keep bending it and bending it from force, and when the pads have to scrape against the pad and it's like, and it's pulling and stretching the shock, the metal is gonna eventually get weak and break. But I thought it was because of something I ran over, or because of I didn't tighten my bolts, or, you know, oh yeah, that's what I did say. The little screw inside that I showed, just watch the video. But it's not that. It's the fucking brake. This thing can kill you. So I'm going to post a video. Like when it actually happened, I recorded on my old phone. I hope I still have the video. I recorded myself when I fell, when I just crashed and the thing snapped and broke on me. So listen to me very, very closely. Okay. If you decide, and the people who subscribed and the guy that was hyped, I remember he said he ordered his. If you watch this, please do not use the front brake, okay? Do not, I would recommend this, okay? Maybe if you put it on right or something, but it's still connected to the front brake, okay? And it's pulling on it. It's connected to the front shock. That's not right, dude. It shouldn't be like that. So if you can, please remove that. Do not use the front brake. Just use the back brake, please. I don't want nobody getting hurt on this shit, because now I feel bad. You know, I recommended it, but I didn't really know nothing about it. You know, I thought it was cool. You know, it's been riding and all that. But once I learned everything about it, and as you can see in the pictures here, it's degraded a lot, man. It's pretty bad. You know, it's all the wires then messed up, and, you know, it's like, I don't know, dude. The front wheel motor wire got torn from the disc brake. So the front wheel motor is unusable. It's just a lot of problems. But mainly the biggest problem is the battery, you know, and that's the most important thing. So invest in a Dualtron, because that's what I'm going to do, you know, and the main thing is that you can get it serviced. Okay, there is a place in the United States to get it worked on and to get guaranteed good parts. You know, you want that. All right, so I'm gonna try to post a video where I fell and try to find it. I'll probably post it today if I could find it on there. And yeah, I just wanted to give you guys like a real update on this now. So I didn't think anything was going to happen. You know, as you can see, I was having fun, and the guy who said, "Oh, mine's not working anymore," I said, I don't know if it's going to happen to me or not, but it hasn't happened. So maybe it was just him, but it's happened to me. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. And if any way that I helped, I'm happy for that. And, you guys take care. And yeah, I'll be trying to make more videos, and I'll definitely make a video when I get the Dualtron and let you know how that is. So thank you very much, and y'all have a great day.